Hello. So if you're watching this, it means I wasn't mugged or killed by one of the multiple characters that kind of loom around the campus early in the morning. Currently 5:41 a.m., the morning that this is due. That being said, what has currently been going on now for about 23 seconds is still considered a video essay. A video essay, the guidelines themselves were not very strict on what was considered a video essay, so one would naturally want to look up the definition of one. A video essay is a piece of content that, much like a written essay, advances an argument. That being said, so the two checkboxes I see in there are, has to be a video, and it has to advance an argument. Now we'll get to what my argument is in a little bit. However, we're going to talk about video essays and what kind of benefits they provide over a traditional essay. So a traditional essay, most people, myself included, would much rather do over a video essay. Obviously, video essays take much more effort. However, they can impact someone much more than a standard essay could. That being said, with a standard essay, kind of your interpretation of it can be subjective. So just like poetry, someone can take away something from an essay that someone else did not. They may have seen something in a different light, or they may have misconstrued a point that the author was trying to make. However, in the format of a video essay, you have evidence to back that up. So in the example that we were shown in class about the tendencies of, or the stalker-like tendencies of male romantic protagonists in movies were exemplified by like standing outside of a window with a boombox, even though she had broken up with him and he hadn't known of such, so he was trying to just stalk her and get back together with her. So things of that nature. It gets a little strange. But with that, you now have a basis for which to make your argument. So it can be structured just like a normal essay could. Point, example, point, example. But these examples themselves can be up to interpretation and explicit in the same sense. So with that, you can show a movie clip that you were just previously mentioning about and why the director is such a genius. But you can demonstrate and explain why exactly that director was such a genius. This is why video essays have become so popular and why they offer so much as a medium. It's because there's so much left in the format that one can really take advantage of. Whereas an essay, most people won't even enjoy to look at. Whereas a video essay can be actually like a work of art. If you look at some of the examples that Nerdwriter 1 and Vox and things of that nature will put out, you can see absolutely beautiful animation, absolutely beautiful visuals on top of a very well-constructed argument for whatever topic is being presented. So all that being said, so with that long, lengthy, and wordy introduction on what exactly a video essay is to be done, my actual project itself was on the piece that was presented in class but never really gone over. The piece actually was posted on the Toast, which is kind of like a satirical website. It's "Everyone has imposter syndrome except for you." So basically what it means by imposter syndrome, going by the most reliable source anyone can find, is Wikipedia, a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. So that really is applicable today in the college life, because people are kind of finding themselves and finding exactly like what they're good at and what they're bad at, and then reevaluating the skills that they developed all throughout their life and all throughout high school, and seeing if like what they can do can actually apply to what their major is and things of that nature. So they're really just kind of trying to find themselves and like find that they actually provided the purpose that they thought they did in high school. The purpose of the article was not inspiration in any regard. It was basically calling you out as a fraud by a joke. It was saying that everyone else fears this way, but you yourself are not fearing this way, because you yourself are fearing what's true, because you yourself are a fraud. Obviously, it's not meaning to call out a specific individual or whoever is reading the actual article at any given point in time. It's only meaning to get across a point that it's a joke, and then people take themselves too seriously. But imposter syndrome has become more prevalent nowadays because people don't really know whether or not they're as good as they thought they were in high school. Like, college has been a reality check for a lot of people. Like, I came to college thinking that I was so very smart and I would never have to study because I never touched a textbook during high school. Um, just to be given a reality and a gut check on the first couple weeks. So, like, other people have had imposter syndrome. Like, I've looked up a few instances, like even Einstein himself had imposter syndrome. So building upon that, Einstein thought that the research that he did and the accomplishments that he made were not equal in regard to the amount of attention that he received. So he didn't think that he deserved the amount of attention he received because he didn't think his accomplishments were that much. He was underplaying the importance of his accomplishments, kind of adding as an example of imposter syndrome. So with all that being said, this is my attempt at a video essay. Hope everyone's just as mediocre as mine was. Adios.